Yep, we're live.
All right. I'd like to call to order the Monday, April 19th meeting of the Monona City Council. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alder Thomas. You're muted, but you're here. I see you. Alder Groupie.
Here.
Alder Moore.
Here.
Alder Goforth.
Present.
Alder Coeur.
Here.
Okay. Mayor O'Connor.
Here. Is there a motion, or, well, I'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of April 5th?
Move approval.
Second.
Second, any corrections or additions?
There actually is one that Alder Wood was going to bring up. On page, I'm sorry if I'm overstepping. He's not here.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. I wrote it down. On page 4 of the minutes, so I don't know what number that is in your packet. I believe it's page 7. On the top of the page, the motion listed there at the top of the page should have included that the item was tabled until after the April 20th organizational meeting.
Right, that's the one on the DEI committee, right?
Yes.
Any other corrections, questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Next item is proclamation declaring the month of May as Historic Preservation and Archaeology Month. So I will read I'm just going to put my phone on mute here. I have a proclamation to read. Whereas the National Trust for Historic Preservation established May as Historic Preservation Month in 1973 as a way to promote historic places for the purpose of instilling national and community pride, promoting heritage tourism, and showing the social and economic benefits of historic preservation. And whereas the Wisconsin Historical Society recognizes May as Historic Preservation and Archaeology Month and sponsors annual events around the state of Wisconsin to instill awareness and promote the historic assets in Wisconsin. And whereas the city of Monona encompasses 3 effigy burial mounds that have been each listed in the state and national register of historic places and have each been marked with a state historical marker. And whereas the purpose of the city of Monona's historic preservation ordinance is to foster civic pride in the beauty and noble accomplishments of the past. And whereas the city of Monona was designated a certified local government, CLG, by the Wisconsin Historical Society in 2018. And whereas the city of Monona has received 2 CLG grants from the Wisconsin Historical Society, one to complete a citywide architectural survey to identify properties eligible for listing in the state and national register of historic places, and the second to start nominating properties of willing property owners to the state and national register of historic places. Now therefore I, Mayor Mary Kay O'Connor, Mayor of the city of Monona, Dane County, Wisconsin, do hereby declare the month of May as Historic Preservation and Archaeology Month, and call upon the people of Monona to join their fellow citizens across the United States in recognizing and participating in this special observance. Signed in the city of Monona, Dane County, Wisconsin, this 19th day of April, 2021. Mary Kay O'Connor, Mayor. Right. Next on the agenda, I think Alder Goforth asked to make an appearance.
Yeah, I did. Thanks.
Okay, so if you want to go ahead.
All right, thanks. I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge what a heavy time we are in. And I felt that it was important that we acknowledge that. The losses we've all experienced due to COVID, those being physical, emotional, financial, sadness due to recent mass shootings, and the tension as the verdict for the George Floyd trial looms on the horizon. And I'm feeling especially raw after a contentious campaign season where all of my colleagues did vociferously campaign against me. So I'm just requesting a bit of grace and empathy for myself and others who are feeling the weight of these things and more. Last April, 1,935 residents elected me to be here. They want me to be here. I will continue to be a voice for them, and at times that requires me to vote against things that I personally would like to have, like the B-cycles, perfect example. But if the majority of constituents reach out to me and tell me they don't want to pay for things like a B-cycle station, I will vote against my own personal interests. I'm not here to serve myself. I'm here to serve the best interests of our community. I hope my colleagues will understand that me asking questions should not be viewed as confrontational, but as an essential part of this job. While we may have different ideas on what is best for the community, we do have to work together, and we have the same goals, and that's making Monona a great place for all residents. I will continue to serve in a professional and respectful manner, even when that same courtesy is not reciprocated by some of my colleagues. I am committed to representing residents to the best of my ability, working with my colleagues if they are willing, and moving forward. I thank you for listening.
Thank you. Brian, do we have any other appearances? Okay, there is a public hearing. There is no consent agenda. Moving on to council action items under unfinished business. Item A, consideration of resolution 21-2476, award of contract for 2021 street chip seal project put forth by the Public Works Committee. Is there a motion to approve this?
Move approval.
Second.
Dan?
Thank you, Mayor.
This one? Okay.
Yes. Yes, we are here tonight for the recommended approval for the 2021 chip sealing project. Scott Construction did provide the low base bid in the amount of $134,308.74. And the Public Works Committee did recommend approval to City Council for this at the April 7th, 2021 meeting. There have been no other questions that have come up in the last 2 weeks and no additional information to add. So seeking your approval tonight.
Does anyone have any questions on this? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alder Coor,
Aye.
Alder Thomas,
Aye.
Alder Groupie,
Aye.
Alder Moore,
Aye.
Alder Goforth,
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Next, item B, consideration of resolution 21-4-2478, purchase approval of 2 police vehicles put forth by the interim police chief. Is there a motion to approve this?
So move.
I'll second.
Okay, Chief Duman.
Evening. So during the capital budget, we budgeted for 2 hybrid SUV police vehicles. And at that time, we did not know that they had redesigned the Explorer, and some of our equipment was no longer going to be able to be utilized from one squad to the new squads. So what I am requesting is the purchase of 2 hybrid SUV Ford Explorer police vehicles, and with additional lighting. We discussed at the last meeting that the lighting that we currently have is not as bright, and when we have so many calls out on the Beltline, it would definitely be beneficial to have this additional lighting. And with that additional lighting and the cost of new equipment, the amount would put us over what was budgeted for last year. So my request again was for the hybrid with the additional lighting at a cost of $41,665.50 for each of the vehicles. With that being the case and it being over budget, there was a proposal to add to the budget to be able to allow for funding for these vehicles.
And I think that'll be the next resolution, right? Any questions? Okay, Alder Groupie.
Just a comment. I know we had this conversation at our last meeting, but I'm so grateful for the consideration of hybrid vehicles. I think it's a very important gesture given our commitment to renewable energy in our city and community, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Alder Kur,
Aye.
Alder Thomas,
Aye.
Alder Groupie,
Aye.
Alder Moore,
Aye.
Alder Goforth,
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, item C, consideration of resolution 21-4-2479, amending the capital budget for the purchase of police vehicles, also put forth by the interim police chief. Is there a motion to approve?
Move
this?
approval. Second.
Chief Duman, did you have anything else to say?
The only thing that I might add was just I had put together a spreadsheet of the costs of the vehicle with the equipment, showing that the amount that we were estimating we'd be over budget was $10,411.50. Therefore, the amendment for the additional funds.
Any questions on this one? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed?
Mayor, this is a budget amendment and should have a roll call.
Sorry, Joan. I was
Okay.
thinking of the amount and not the amendment.
Sure.
Okay, would the clerk please call the roll?
Yes, Alder Goforth,
Aye.
Alder Kur,
Aye.
Alder Thomas,
Aye.
Alder Groupie,
Aye.
Alder Moore,
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Now moving on to new business, we have several things started for immediate approval, mainly because of timing issues. This week, the first one, item 2A, consideration of May 1st, 2021 opening hour variance for the East Side Club Tiki Bar, 3735 Monona Drive, Monona, Wisconsin, 53714, put forth by the License Review Committee. Is there a motion to take this out of order?
Move to take this out of order.
Okay.
Also,
Alder Groupie, second. Is there a
Oh.
motion?
it was Alder Goforth.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a motion to approve it?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay. Brian, did you want to, since Doug won't be here, did you want to take this one?
You're on mute.
Sure. The request is from the East Side Club to change their hours of operation to open 1 hour earlier, specifically for a May 1st, 2021 event. They are one of a couple of different spots where the Lake Monona 20K run will end. So they're asking to move from their current start or open time of 12 p.m. to 11 a.m. So this 1 hour variance would require city council approval. It's my understanding from the clerk that the Alcohol Licensing Review Committee has approved this variance request. So staff would offer the following motion for your consideration this evening. The motion I would recommend would be to approve a 1 hour opening hour variance, parentheses, from 12 p.m. to 11 a.m. and parentheses for the East Side Club Tiki Bar based upon the Licensing Review Committee recommendation period.
Do we need to have the date?
Yeah, for the May 1, 2021 event.
I mean, for May 1st, though, do we need to add that?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions? I see
Um,
Robin from the East Side Club is here. We have
Oh, I'm sorry, that's what I was gonna say, is Robin is here.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Anyone have any questions about this? Alder Kur.
My question is actually for Joan. Have we had complaints or issues with permits for this establishment, or have we not anything on the record?
We have not in recent years. They've done a lot of work to improve operations there and organization. So no, there has not been issues there.
Thank you.
Alder Groupie.
I would also just like to put in a vote of confidence for the East Side Club, given what they've done for the Monona Grove Education Association and our senior center and various events and celebrations in the past few years. So I'm very supportive of this proposal.
Anyone else? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, item B, consideration of amendments to license conditions for the East Side Club, 3735 Monona Drive, Monona, Wisconsin, 53714, also put forth by the License Review Committee. Brian?
In this instance, I would defer to the city clerk to provide
Okay.
details on this application.
Thank you. They have requested, the East Side Club has requested this additional permanent change to 11 o'clock on Fridays, I'm sorry, on Saturdays and Sundays, because of the increase in the number of outdoor events and runs and bicycle groups who come to the East Side Club after their events. In addition, they have a lot of weddings and outdoor weddings in the back, and most of them want to start at noon, and there may be more than one wedding per day. So that earlier starting hour would be helpful. The committee, License Review Committee, agreed that an earlier hour at the beginning of the day is not as problematic as if they were requesting an hour at the end of the day. Most of the issues ever were at the end of the day, in the evening. So the committee didn't have any issues with this change. It does need to go to Plan Commission, which is why it was not starred for immediate action or any other expedited process here at the council. The Plan Commission, for their use of their space, did require hours and various other things, so they do need to review this change.
So given that Plan Commission isn't meeting till May 10th, this won't come back then till
No, it won't come back, and well, it could come back
the
at
17th.
the next council meeting. It could be approved by the council conditionally upon Plan Commission approval, if that's what you chose to do. I intend to have it on I would think we would have it on the next agenda for the council. But,
Okay, well then it would have to be conditional, I think, so.
right.
And
We
we
will
will
have,
have a resolution, right?
yes, I was just going to make a point of information. We will have a resolution that will be in the May 3rd packet for this item.
Anybody have any questions? Alder Thomas? You raised your hand? Okay. All right, we will move on to the next item C, consideration of resolution 21-4-2480, correcting resolution 21-3-2466, award of contract for Stonebridge Park Improvements Project, put forth by the Public Works Director. Is there a motion to take this out of order?
Suspend the rules and take this item out of order.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion to approve.
Move approval.
Second.
Dan?
Thank you, Mayor. On March 15th, City Council approved the resolution to award the contract to Joe Daniels Construction. And at that time, it included the base bid and alternate number one. The Parks Director indicated that on March 15th that he was not seeking approval of the bid alternative, which was in the amount of $22,845. It was at the intention of the City Council to award the contract for the base bid without the bid alternative, but a motion was not made to amend the resolution to reflect the change. So we're back here tonight to correct that and have City Council award the contract to Joe Daniels Construction for the base bid only. That amount is $731,543.75.
Any questions? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alder Moore,
Aye.
Alder Goforth. Alder Goforth,
Aye.
thank you. Alder Kur,
Aye.
Alder Thomas,
Aye.
Alder Groupie,
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The next three involve future borrowing. Item D, consideration of resolution 21-4-2481, providing for the sale of $3,560,000 in general obligation promissory notes, Series 2021A, put forth by the Finance Director. Is there a motion to take this out of order?
So move to suspend the rules and take this item out of order.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Is there a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, Mark.
Yes, the reason why these three are starred is this is this is authorizing our finance advisor, Jeff Belangi, to start negotiating with the bondholders. And he'll come back at the next meeting with the final numbers. So this is just the start of it. So what this first one is for $3,560,000. This is for general obligation related to the borrowing for general, our 2021 capital project for general, which is $2,574,000, and also includes storm, which is $1,286,000 for a total of $3,560,000. This is to fulfill our approved 2021 capital budget.
Any questions? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alder Groupie,
Aye.
Alder Moore,
Aye.
Alder Goforth,
Aye.
Alder Coor,
Aye.
Alder Thomas,
Aye.
Motion passes. Item E, consideration of resolution 21-4-2482, providing for the sale of 8.6 million note anticipation note series 2021B, also put forth by the finance director.
Move to suspend the rules and take this item out of order.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 So motion to approve.
Move approval.
Second.
Mark?
So this is for the purchase of St. Damiano to fulfill our agreement that we have with them. Currently borrowing, for state statute, you only can go out 20 years on a general obligation note for purchase for land. What you can do though is do a 5-year band. So you have that 5 years and 20 years that we would refinance in 5 years and stretch it out to a 25-year repayment schedule. So that's what we're going to do, proposing to do. Also, we're doing a full $8.6 million up front here. The reason why we haven't reduced the $2 million for the Dane County grant, one, we won't have that money on hand by the time we borrow, and two, there's no signed agreement that we have right now. In case something would change, we did not accept it. Being a little conservative, we went to the full $8.6 million. If we do receive that, our first payment in the 5-year ban is for $2 million. So we would apply that right away in that first year, our first principal payment, which would be in 2022. But if something would happen, we would not receive the grant, decline it, or something would happen, we would have to look into refinancing this 5-year ban, just because we won't be able to make that $2 million up front right away. So that is the one area of risk if you do not receive that grant.
Alder Thomas?
Yeah, at finance, we asked Mark, because I know people will be curious, what's the cost of the average household for this? And so we asked for that information, to have that available at the next meeting. And Mark, I would ask you, because we asked about the 8 million, but could you do it? Could you calculate it both for the 8 and for the 6 if we get the Dane County grant?
Sure, yes, I can.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Alder Moore?
I'm just wondering, since I know we've already put down earnest money, committed earnest money to this purchase. I'm just went and my memory serves me correctly. It was $100,000.
Yeah, that's a good question. That should be changed. We're gonna have to change that to your correct 8.5. So we did pay $100,000 already. So
Do we need a,
we'll come back with a final number, 8.5. You can do a budget amendment. Or,
we need to amend the resolution or anything, Brian?
We can amend that when we get the next resolution that comes, when the Jeff Bunge comes to the next meeting with the final
Okay.
numbers. We can amend it.
Good point, Nancy. Any other questions? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Okay, Alder Thomas,
Aye.
Alder Groupie,
Aye. Good catch, Alder Moore.
Alder Moore,
Aye.
Alder Goforth,
Aye.
Alder Coor,
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, item C, consideration of resolution 21-4-2483, providing for the sale of 1.8 million in water system and sewer revenue bond anticipation note, series 2021C, also put forth by the finance director. Is there a motion to take this out of order?
Move to suspend the rules and take this item out of order.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion to approve?
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
Okay. Mr. Hotaker.
Yes, this is for 1.8 million for the water and sewer portion. So in the 2021 capital budget, we requested 550,000, and the sewer was 350,000. But in the 2020 capital budget, we budgeted for $900,000 for new water meters to go in. In 2020, we did not borrow for that amount because at the time, we didn't have the approval from the PSC. We didn't know for sure when we'd be able to start implementing. So we are borrowing for that now, for 900,000. The program is going, starting as of January. They were putting the meters into the system. So just as to cover that cost for that. To get the total 1.8.
Questions, anyone? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Alder Kerr,
Aye.
Alder Thomas,
Aye.
Alder Groupie,
Aye.
Alder Moore,
Aye.
Alder Goforth,
Aye.
Motion passes. Item G, consideration of resolution 21-4-2486, purchase approval of one speed trailer message board put forth by the interim police chief. Motion to take this out of order.
Vote to suspend the rules and take this item out of order.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Move
Opposed?
approval.
Also,
Okay. All right, Chief Duman.
Evening. This is a capital budgeted item for an additional speed trailer and multi-purpose message board. What we're able to do with the speed trailer and message board is to collect traffic data, run reports, obviously display speeds, and then use it as a message board for events such as the parade, when that does start up again, or the 4th of July festival, traffic warning, that kind of thing. We have one speed trailer message board currently, but we get so many requests from different neighborhoods and for its deployment in different areas that we simply aren't able to satisfy all of those requests. This additional speed trailer and message board would allow us to have it deployed in more areas, or have both actually deployed in more areas of the city and provide that service to our citizens. We, again, budgeted for this item during the capital budgeting process last year. The estimate that came in for the Stalker radar trailer that we currently have was the lowest budget, or was the lowest estimate received. And it just seems to make sense. We're already familiar with the speed trailer and message board that we have, so there is no learning curve getting it deployed as soon as we're able to get it up and running. So my request is for purchase of this Stalker MC360 message trailer for $16,809.
Questions? Alder Groupie.
Again, more of a comment. I would echo Interim Chief Duman's comments that we received so many inquiries about the speed trailer and having it placed on different streets. It's a very hot ticket item, I think, among the things that we were asked about by constituents. Second of all, I think the message board portion is very significant for, the current time with COVID regulations and recommendations. I know that a lot of people are being vaccinated in Wisconsin, but I also get the impression that we're getting a little bit lax and tired of the pandemic. So more reminders to wash hands, and anything that we can put on the speed trailers as a reminder to just be mindful of our community and COVID, I think are the more messaging that we can provide, the better. So I support this resolution.
Anyone else? I'll go for it.
Chief, can you remind me when you deploy it, how long, what's the span of time that you deploy it to a neighborhood?
I think I don't know that there's a specific set time. I think generally he tries to leave it out there for close to a week's time. But we've maybe had to cut some of that short just to try to get more areas served.
And what's the process for someone requesting that? Is it a form on the website or just reaching out to your department?
It's generally just reaching out to our department. Some people will email our community officer directly if they've done that before, but we get requests through our dispatch general email, phone calls, and then direct emails.
Okay, thanks.
Alder Thomas.
And who is it that you contact in the police department if you'd like it, Chief?
That would be our community resource officer, Nate Reynolds.
And Nate generally takes care of setting it up, right?
Yeah, he will deploy it and set it up. So we have the general dispatch email that I mentioned is just a dispatch@ci.monona.wi.us or a phone call to our non-emergency number, or if they do have Officer Reynolds' email address, they can email him directly as well, or just ask for him when they call, and we will get that put on the list.
Alder Goforth.
I was wondering, we had it on our street last fall, and I was wondering, all of the children enjoyed clocking their speeds on their bicycles. Does that skew any of the data, or because I kind of enjoyed that too? So I'm just curious.
I'm going to assume if there's a reading on it that it probably is registering that speed, but it probably, like most programs do, will kick out some of the outliers, really high or really low, just but I'd have to look specifically to see what it does with those.
Okay, yeah, it was quite a contest to see who could get it the highest. So
That's a great idea.
it's actually pretty fun.
And now everybody knows about that idea.
Right, yeah. Now it's gonna have to be longer at each stop so they can do that.
No, we have two, so we can do that.
Right. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, consideration of resolution 21-4-2485, establishing an official statement on diversity, equity, and inclusion put forth by Alders Goforth and Groupie. Is there a motion to take this out of order?
I'll move to take the item out of order.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Is that how many people said aye? Could you raise your hand? Okay, 3. Okay, motion passes. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
Okay, is one of you going to speak?
Sure, I'll start. Yeah, this is something we've all been talking a lot about. I know a lot of municipalities had made strides in this area and just taking the basic step of getting a statement on the website. I also felt that, we're in the process of making a key hire with our police chief, and the timing seemed positive to put it up sooner than later. And that's why I presented this, and I appreciate Molly co-sponsoring, and I think Molly had some comments and possibly a correction on the statement. Or did you get
I emailed it to City Administrator Gatto and Administrator Kimmel as well. Just a couple of changes, basically grammatically, to the statement. But I just want to echo Alder Goforth's sentiments that this is, I think a very small but significant potentially gesture that we can make to our community about our concerted efforts to be more thoughtful and intentional about diversity, equity, and inclusion right now as we contemplate hiring a new police chief and other officers to our public safety department. I also think, we ensured that it was conditional upon approval by the ad hoc committee that potentially will be formed, and I would say more than likely will be formed following our organizational meeting tomorrow. So I just think this is something that we can put out to the community quickly that says that we care about these issues and this commitment to DE&I. And, again, we will consider the input from both Nehemiah's efforts and our own efforts through our ad hoc committee, and making sure that this reflects accurately the wishes of our constituents and that committee.
Okay, Molly, are all of your proposed grammatical changes in the version that's on the?
They are not. It looks like
Ryan?
Administrator Gatto has a comment about that.
I'm sorry, you're on mute.
I will read to you the two grammatical changes that were offered. So where it says dash to foster, that would instead be changed dash and to fostering a sense of belonging, and carrying forward the rest of the language. And then the last sentence where it says make Monona a great place, add in to visit and call home.
Okay,
Two changes.
so Molly, are you proposing that as amendment?
Yes, I will officially propose that as an amendment to the resolution.
Friendly amendment, I guess. And all to go for that, since you're doing this together, I guess we don't have to necessarily ask if you agree with that, but.
Entirely agree.
Okay. Anyone else? Alder Moore and then Alder Thomas.
So a couple of things. One is, Alder Groupie, if I heard you correctly, you said that this would be conditional based on, assuming that we approve an ad hoc group, that it would be conditional based on their.
I'll clarify, Alder Moore, not conditional, but open to amendation by that ad hoc committee if they feel that there are changes or other language that would be more appropriate.
Okay, and is there a reason why that is not in the resolution? Something to the effect of should an ad hoc group be formed or whatever that they would?
I would say it should be, and Alder Goforth can echo this, but we said that explicitly in our presentation of this resolution to Administrator Gatto, the mayor, and Administrator Kimmel as well.
I missed it when I was drafting the resolution to add that an additional resolve clause to include that. So I'm open to including that in.
Okay, so just as a follow-up to that, I guess the reason why I raise it is I know, certainly I am 200% supportive of having a city statement. In my consulting work, one of the things that I'm very, very conscious of and work really hard at with clients is the whole issue of buy-in and ownership, and the importance of whatever gets created by an organization being something that's built out of that organization, rather than just something that's like, I could write strategic plans till the cows come home on behalf of organizations, but I don't. We spend a lot of extra time with them making the decisions and them doing the writing, precisely because that buy-in and that ownership is really important. And certainly in an issue like this, I think obviously the community buy-in and the buy-in of that particular group, but the community as a whole, frankly, but certainly makes me feel more comfortable, which is why I was advocating for that group to tackle such a statement instead. So I'm a kind of mixed mind in that regard. I mean, I understand the importance of the statement, but at the same time, I also kind of like the idea again of it not being something that was just written by a singular person or a couple of people, and instead is something that is generated in a sense out of community rather than out of government. So I just raised that as it's something that I'm personally struggle with a little bit.
Alder Thomas.
Well, it strikes me these days that we are paralyzed by our own inactivity. And while this may not be a perfect statement, it is a statement. And I think it's one that we can all agree with. And virtually everything we do, unless it's concrete, is subject to improvement and modification if we come up with a better idea. And so if we have a committee, if Nehemiah or the diversity group comes up with better language, we can always modify this. But in the absence of that, we have nothing. And this is better, in my opinion, than nothing. And you know, I think about this stuff, if nothing else. I mean, I put something on Facebook the other day that said, you know, I think I'm fair-minded and I'm not racist and I'm not any of this stuff, but I need to remind myself every day of this. And I think this is a good reminder for all of us. And so whether we call it a placeholder or whatever, we have the ability to improve it or modify it. If somebody has improvements to it that we think make it better off. But in the meantime, it is better than nothing, in my opinion.
Alder Coor.
Normally when we vote for things out of order or take things out of order, it has to do with an urgency in terms of budget or meeting a deadline. I don't see either of those things with this issue. I guess I would prefer that we would have given it 2 reads to allow the community to be able to comment. Certainly, I agree with the spirit of the resolution. I appreciate that it's a aspirational statement as opposed to something that we say that we are doing. I think my only concern with this is that I hope that if we do adopt this, we don't go around patting ourselves on the back that we've done something, because we haven't. That this is just a first step. But again, I really would have preferred this go through 2 reads as opposed to 1. I don't see the motivation for doing it just once.
Alder Groupie.
I would just say I completely empathize with that response. I think 2 reads is a significant and important part of our processes and procedures. So I respect the comment from Alder Coor. I would say, I guess this is a personal opinion. I'm confident that many in our community feel it, but I would say the urgency here is something that Alder Goforth touched on earlier, which is our current circumstances awaiting, for example, the verdict in the Derek Chauvin trial, and sort of the tension about racial relations in the United States as a whole and as a nation that I really think that we are starting to see the effects of here in Monona, but just on a broader scale. I think that lends a sense of sadness and impatience and urgency to this statement. And again, that's a personal opinion. I don't know how far that reaches, but I think to show something now about our commitment, and as you said, aspirations for the future, to me, that seems like the time for something of this nature. And it is a very simple gesture that I think we can put forward in the hopes that it will be attached to more longer term and sustainable initiatives related to DE&I. But that's my take. And it looks like Alder Goforth may have a comment as well about it.
Alder Goforth.
Yeah, I did. I just wanted to concur with Alder Thomas's comments that I do feel it's important that we have something rather than nothing. I think also what Alder Groupie states with the timing and just what the climate of everything right now, I think it's important. And I also feel like, you know, we have a lot of work to do on this ad hoc diversity work group. And so, you know, and I think it's isn't it a short order as well? 6 months. They're given 6 months. So I feel like, you know, we've seen these statements. They're on most cities' websites. And so, you know, having the committee spend a month just on the statement, I feel like this is at least going to help them get the ball rolling, get things moving along more quickly, so they can spend more time on the bigger issues, and we can knock out this statement and get something on our website rather than have nothing.
Anyone else? City Administrator Gatto.
To close the loop on the additional be it resolved clause that I would recommend we add to this resolution, it would be it further resolved, so it would go after the now therefore be resolved, so it become the second resolve clause. So it'd say be it further resolved, comma, the statement may be amended or further modified by an ad hoc work group on diversity, equity, inclusion, should it be formed by the city council, period.
Okay, so Molly, do you want to make an amendment to propose that?
Yes, unless, I mean, does it need to come from me or Alder go forth? I
I
know
don't
she, okay, I will propose.
Christie can do it to it, whoever wants to.
I just want to make sure, this was Alder go forth's proposal and I'm co-sponsoring, so I just want to make sure I'm not stepping on any toes
I
here,
think
so.
if Christie wants to, she can. I don't think it matters.
Okay.
You're definitely not stepping on toes. So you
Okay,
don't.
I will move to amend and adopt the motion pending that changes to the wording in the resolution.
With the third whereas. Is there a second for that?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Any further discussion, Kathy?
No, I have a statement, but I'll make it after we vote on this.
Okay, all in favor on amending the resolution as Brian recommended, say aye.
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 And Christie, you voted aye?
I did, correct.
And Nancy and Jen are all opposed?
No,
I
I,
voted aye.
so did I.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I only heard one person, so motion passes. So we're back to the motion as amended. Alder Thomas.
Yeah, the one thing I was going to say is that what seems different to me, and I tend to agree with Alder Kerr about the two motions, but what seems different to me, and there's not a committee to do this, but we're usually, we normally have stuff go through a committee and get the recommendation of a committee to give us advice on stuff, and I value that. There's no committee at the moment to put this through, and so it feels a little bit awkward to me, and I really like it when stuff goes through committee. So that's the part that feels awkward to me about it. But as I said, there's no committee for it to go through, but I hope we get back to, and the same thing happened with, with the issue about posting the committee meetings that need, our stuff needs to go through committees because we so rely on the public input of the citizens. So that's my only comment, and I don't have an answer for not suspending, although, I think it's not a big deal. I think this is sort of one of those things they call a no-brainer.
Okay. Alder Kerr, did you have something?
My concern is just that I received this on Friday. I'm not sure our constituents had time to review it and look at it if they received notification that the council agenda was posted. If our constituents, we want their input on things, we need to give them ample time to be able to review things. One read just doesn't do that. We had several comments when we talked about the ad hoc committee. We got several emails. We got people made appearances. We had none of that this evening. And so I'm just concerned that people don't know what is being written. I'm not against what's written. I'm just saying this is a process thing and that should go to the community because it affects them.
Anyone else? Alder Moore.
Well, I share Alder Kerr's concern and obviously already expressed my concerns for a similar reason. Again, it's just about inclusion of our community in this. That being said, I'm wondering if we might instruct, assuming that we do vote to approve an ad hoc work group. I'm wondering if we might instruct them, since we're saying in this resolution that they, may choose to recommend amendments to it. I'm wondering if we might, I guess as part of their charge or just as a matter of record this evening, even, or both, require or request of the ad hoc work group that they have a public open comment period as part of their work in looking at this, that they actively solicit community feedback when they're during their charge, assuming that we do something in that regard, and that would at least give the community an opportunity then to weigh in a comment period. That might be, I
Okay,
would feel better if the community had an opportunity to weigh in my point.
Alder Thomas.
Well, I don't mean to be argumentative, but now we're going to have the community group, which I have some question about, because what if the group Nehemiah comes through and says, we have a better option for you? You know, if we ask the community group to do it and we're paying Nehemiah to give us advice and consultation, what if they come through and make a different suggestion? Then where
No.
does it stop?
Nehemiah is going to be a facilitator of that group.
No, they're going to have their own group as well.
True.
Right.
So later on they might, but Brian, didn't we say we were wording this either Nehemiah or the DEI group? Or no, is it just
No,
the DEI group?
just DEI group. And if
Okay.
Nehemiah comes back with suggestions, we can bring that to the council for your
Yeah.
consideration. So in my mind, that's not something that necessarily needs to be in the resolution.
Okay. Alder Groupie.
I would just say briefly that the reason why we included the input of the ad hoc committee within the resolution specifically is because we had discussed previously the idea of putting a statement on our website that would be formed through the committee itself.
Right.
And so this is a way for us to say, we would really like to take some action on this very simple, direct and overt statement now, but that we respect the idea that the committee may have some input on that. And those will be citizens of our community. And hopefully majority citizens of color is really what we've stated as our commitment to this committee, should it be formed. And I hope and feel that it is likely it will be formed. So irrespective of Nehemiah, which, I work with them directly, I love them as an organization, but that is a lot of outside members of our community. We have said specifically that we'd like our community members to weigh in on this. So that is just a clarifying point for the ad hoc committee being included specifically in the whereas of the resolution.
Anyone else? If there's nothing else, then I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
I
As amended.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. One final item, I, consideration of resolution 21-4-2484, support for a strong state and local partnership. This is dealing with state shared services funding put forth by the city administrator. Brian.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I've asked for this item to be starred for immediate action. And the reason is I neglected to put this on the docket for the last council meeting. This is a request that the League of Wisconsin Municipalities is asking kind of all their member communities to consider reviewing and adopting. Really, as we get into the state budget cycle, they're asking for all the support they can get in lobbying our statewide elected officials about the need for a stronger shared services system program as it relates to money that can be divvied out to individual municipalities to help offset some of the burden of property taxes that we're seeing across the state over the last decade or so. So this resolution is common amongst our kind of other communities across Dane County and across the state. They're being asked to adopt this same resolution. So I've included it in your packet for your consideration this evening. I don't see any questions that you might have.
Okay. Actually, I can't remember now. We didn't take a, I guess we didn't make any motions on this, did we?
No.
Motion to take this out of order. I'm sorry.
I'll move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Is there a motion to approve?
I'll
Move
move
approval.
approval. I'll second.
Any further discussion or questions for the city administrator? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. We will move on to reports of committees, commissions, etc. Alder Thomas,
have no report.
Alder Groupie.
Just a reminder about the Monona citywide e-cycling event this Saturday from 8 to noon at Ahuska Park. You can bring styrofoam, other difficult to recycle items, including appliances, etc. Many items are free. It's a socially distanced drive-through event. Some appliances of different sizes and types may require a fee that you can pay by cash, check, or credit card at the event. And just a quick report from Transit Committee. We have kind of finalized our RFP and we'll be sending that out for bids. And we hope to hear back early in July. And then we've also begun work on a survey to be disseminated in our May City e-newsletter to current ridership and potential ridership for the Express and Lyft public transportation options in Monona. And we're hoping to hear back from people about what they would like to see in our city transportation.
Okay. Alder Moore.
Yes, some residents may know that that there has been a proposal submitted to the Plan Commission that's still very much in the early stages for a new development and the site of what is now Monona Gardens. And there'll be a webinar, web Zoom, kind of open hearing about it, sponsored by MESBA on Thursday at 6:30. People are welcome to listen in and hear more about that proposal for Monona Gardens and learn more about what the developer has proposed for that area.
Is there a way that, I know Devin Renner sent us the link earlier today. Is there a way that, how should people try to get signed up for that?
He posted it on the MESBA website and on his Facebook pages. So he's
Okay.
made it very much of a public event.
Okay, because I know you are supposed to register, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that everything, Nancy?
Yeah, yes, that is. Thank you.
Okay, Alder, go for it.
Yes. Community media, the next e-newsletter goes out on April 21st. The WVMO is still seeking a volunteer music director for 10 to 15 hours a week to replace Kirk Swenson. We discussed at length the resolution to have the Zoom meetings uploaded to YouTube. 13 people registered in favor at the meeting and 3 were against. It was tabled to allow for more discussion at the next meeting. The resolution wasn't included in the packet and the committee felt that people needed to have more time to look at it. Staff confirmed that they can upload the meetings without additional resources needed. And then on to landmarks. May is Historic Preservation Month. Doug is preparing a GIS map of international style homes for a walking tour. The National Register process, the Habitat Restore is 75% complete. That's their application for the National Register. That application is being prepared by UW Milwaukee. The application for the Otto Schroeder House, that one's being prepared by consultant Tim Hegland. That one's almost complete as well. Friends of San Damiano will be making an appearance at our next meeting to update us on what's happening with the home. That meeting's May 12th. We did have a public appearance by a past commissioner, Matt Arrow, who told us about a new policy implemented by the Wisconsin State Historical Society that's a little bit controversial. So it's when we did the Mead and Hunt study, that was previous to my being on that commission, it was stated in that report that there could be a historic district established in Frostwoods. And so as an unintended consequence of that, the Wisconsin, so any individual homes that would be within those boundaries are now not eligible for tax credits. It's a new policy that seems to be due to new staff at Wisconsin State Historical Society and seems to be a heavy-handed way of kind of forcing communities to create historic districts. Doug Plowman and I reviewed a lot of the email communication, and it really does look like there's a lot of confusion within the Historical Society itself. But it's something we're starting to look into, and we'll keep you posted on. That's all I've got.
Thank you. Alder Kuhr.
So great news, the library will be opening back up for limited service on the 21st. Big thing to point out is that there will not be chairs. So it's a come in, do your business and move along. There will be computers available if you register to use those, but it's a come in, browse and move along type of a situation. The library will be closed tomorrow, the 20th, to get ready for that opening. They're moving some furniture around and getting the building all set up to be welcoming patrons on the 21st. The other thing I'd like to say is give a shout out to MESBA for organizing the cleanup on Friday. I took the girls and we went and cleaned up Esther Beach, and it was fantastic. I understand that they had 75 people register to do cleanup, and I did notice that it was looking much better in the community. So thank you to all that participated, and thank you to MESBA for organizing. And that was what I had for reports.
Thank you. Joan, did you have anything?
No report, Mayor O'Connor.
Okay.
Hey, there's no election. What else do I do?
Chief McMullen.
Well, good evening. I'm going to spread joy and optimism tonight. So
This is happy day. Yeah.
I actually just have a couple of things. Last week, we were honored to host our cardiac arrest survivor in-house. Him and his girlfriend of 27 years stopped by. We were able to get our 2 police officers that were part of the rescue, the 4 folks from Kilgus that were the civilian part of that rescue, a ER doc from St. Mary's, Dane County EMS was there, the entire crew from our side, they were all there. Really fantastic work by Will and Samantha in capturing all that, putting together a really nice video about the whole ceremony. And then at the end of it, I'm going to ruin the surprise if you haven't seen it yet. He proceeded to propose to his girlfriend of 27 years in front of our fire truck, and she said yes, which was a really nice story to end the week with last week. So thanks to Will and Samantha, they did an awesome job at capturing that. After talking to Brian last week, I reached out to Harriet Nehemiah Group to talk through our volunteer hiring process. We're going to be opening that up next month. We already got several applications, but we had a nice hour-long conversation back and forth on different things we can do, both marketing ourselves and how to better market ourselves in a diverse way to the community. Some of the conversation will be very helpful, I think, in getting more Monona residents on board with the fire department on the volunteer side. So I also publicly thank Harry for that. It was great that he spent an hour talking with me. Last thing I've got tonight is just again, I try and do this every month as a public thank you to our staff. For those of you that have been around town today, it's been an exceedingly busy day today. We're on call number 9 right now, including 2 car accidents, a car fire, a structure fire on Owen Road this morning, and 5 EMS calls. And so far we've managed to cover all of them except for 1 EMS call. Even that was covered by a couple of our volunteer firefighters. We had to bring in an ambulance for that. So I always like to say they put in a ton of hours. We've had a really busy day today. I think the Chief Eckloff might be having a little buyer's remorse at picking up OIC tonight because it's been such a busy day. But the volunteers, the full-time staff, they do a fabulous job every day. So I just want to say thank you, and thank you to all you folks as well.
Well, and thank them for us. Chief Duman.
So I don't have anything specific to report other than with our warmer weather, we were starting to see an increase in call volume. And again, yes, lots of accidents, which we're anticipating more of with the increase in road closures, Monona and Broadway down to the Beltline, Monona Drive access to both east and westbound, on and off. So other than that, just looking forward to the warmer weather, even though it brings us more calls.
Okay. Mark, did you have anything?
Yes, I just want to update with the PSC. We just recently got back our rate case. I don't know if people remember. Did a rate case changing from cubic units to gallons and change it from quarterly to monthly. And rate case all related to the water meter upgrade. And we did that. And the PSC did come back with a 5% increase, which is actually lower than what a simplified rate case would have been if we did it for over 4 years. So we actually came back with good numbers there with that. So with that approval, we're going to start a mass campaign pretty soon at City Hall, putting out there that we are changing from quarterly to monthly. And so it's just everybody knowing cubic units to gallons. That won't be as much as the bigger deal is the quarterly to monthly, which was approved last year by Public Works and by the City Council. So that will be coming. The effective date is probably going to be July. The month of July will be the effective date for that.
Does that mean all the meters will be installed by July, or will you?
Yes, yep. Everybody should be updated by then and that too.
Okay, thank you. Brian, did you have anything?
Yeah, just one item. So the council received an email this afternoon regarding some questions and comments pertaining to police officer hiring process that we're in the middle of. I just want to provide an update that the background investigation for that position is still ongoing, and we have provided that information that we received today to the police department who is conducting the background investigation. So no additional updates on that at this moment, but they are aware of the information now that we received today.
Okay, thank you. I just said, just a reminder that our organizational meeting is tomorrow night at 5:30. Unfortunately, I was hoping maybe we could do it at a park shelter or something, but given that it's going to be 42 degrees and snowing, I think we will do it via Zoom. I will send your committee appointments sometime tomorrow prior to the meeting. I guess the only other thing is just a reminder also that there's going to be a medicine drop also this Saturday at the medicine shop, I think from 9 to 1. So when you're out dropping off your e-cycling, you can also stop there and drop off your old meds. Anybody have anything else? Okay, then is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? We are adjourned. We'll see you all tomorrow night. Thank you.
Stay healthy, everybody.
See you then. Have a great night.